it's been like a day or two since I've done body cam footage. It's been like a day or two. So this is Good Samaritan saves baby from mom trying to sell her. And again, I'm not entirely sure how specific this could be, because I think anyone was out in public. Well, then again, you got to be careful with rich people, because allegedly they eat babies. So maybe it was a Good Samaritan, because I would think anyone would see someone trying to sell their child. You would report it. You would report it.
She said, if you give me $500 right now, you can have. I said, have what? She said, have her. And she put her down in the leaves.
What? No, I would never sell my child.
And she said, no, I don't need help. I just don't want the bastard.
My child is my life. I never, ever hurt my baby.
And I'm like, is she crazy?
In March 2024, a woman walks into a police station with an 18-month-old girl and a shocking claim. The child's mother tried to sell her own baby, and when that didn't work, abandoned her entirely. But what sounds like an open and shut case takes a twisted turn when the mother accuses the woman of orchestrating a plot to steal her baby. The following report...
So, I'm trying to think of where the logic would be. If you're going to kidnap a child and you want to justifiably take it for your own, would it be the best course of action to take the child to the police precinct and tell them the story that you've made up in your head and give up the child to CPS, or just kidnap the child entirely? I mean, I'm curious as to what, because in the end, the child goes to CPS. You can't claim the child for your own. It has to go into Child Protective Services. Yeah, CPS. Trying to think of the acronym for it, the actual reason for it. But yeah, it goes into Protective Services. So why would you go into a police precinct knowing that? Or do you think that being the one who brought in the child, you can claim that, hey, is it okay if I take the child home with me? I've gotten attached. I'm curious. I'm curious. Whatever it may be. Whatever it may be.
Report is based on official police records, and most of the footage has never been seen before until now. On the afternoon of March 5th, 2024, a woman comes into the Palatka, Florida Police Department with an 18-month-old baby on her shoulder and an extraordinary story.
I'm gonna bring her some clothes, diapers over, but we didn't. I was gonna wipe her off, but we didn't want to wipe her off. We should take pictures of her because she's okay. Don't cry, sweetie. Because she don't deserve it.
Come in there. I'm gonna sit with you.
Oh, come sit with you. All right. I called DCF to John, and he is on. It's gonna be
And the fact that she's crying, she's tearing buckets. She's tearing buckets. She's got the frame of like the typical mama bear. Like she's just a black Mrs. Weasley. A black Mrs. Weasley, whose favorite child, of course, is Harry Potter. Isn't that the joke? Mrs. Weasley's favorite child is Harry Potter.
calling me back.
Thank you so much for doing this. I know that this is way outside of what
I'm a mom first.
I understand.
The woman is an employee at H&R Block, and she says she was getting ready to close last night when a client named Jessica came in with her baby daughter.
Both of them had no shoes on. Her and Jessica walked in, and she asked me if I give her a new Emerald card because her taxes had dropped, and she left it somewhere or something happened with it. So I got ready to put her stuff in, and I noticed the baby had took her diaper off, and she was like pointing at her private, like her is irritating her. So I was like, oh, maybe it's the diaper, keep me irritated or whatever. And she was like, she's not going to do that because I only have one diaper for her. So she put the diaper back on her, and it went, you know how the sticky side of the diaper, it wouldn't stick no more. So she like, here. And it was like, you're stupid. You shouldn't be there. And I was like, what? So I called the police.
She says she waited until police arrived and then went home for the night, unaware that her involvement with this woman was far from over.
This morning, I came 7 a.m. The mom, Jessica, was laying on the AC unit. And she was in a Dollar General's buddy. And it was drizzling. She was asleep and the baby was in there hollering. Well, I said, do you need help? Like, do you need me to call these people so they can help you? And she said, no, don't worry about it. And she snatched her daughter out the top part and snapped her in the bottom part.
The woman says that Jessica left at that point. Not long after, someone at a nearby restaurant calls the police to complain about a woman and her baby walking around asking for food. The responding officer finds Jessica inside, annoyed.
Yeah, she's not a parent. She's not a parent. Like, when I lived in San Francisco, I had so many urges to call CPS because one of the tactics, especially immigrants will do, is they will go sit at the corner and put their child out in front with a sign asking to be fed. If that parent cannot feed that child, that parent does not deserve to have a child. And the fact that that parent is putting the fact of that child getting money and food before everything else, like, get a job, person. Get a job, woman. Like, no, didn't want to. Wanted the child to beg for an income, because the child will be able to make more money than her begging. And it's just like, I saw that and I was just like, this is incredibly disgusting. Incredibly disgusting. What kind of parent would actively wish something like this to ever happen? Like, again, there's that scene in Pursuit of Happiness where Will Smith loses everything, which is based off a real story. Which the Will Smith loses everything, and he has to cower away in a public restroom, holding his son on his chest, talking to his son, trying to whisper him to sleep as he's holding the public restroom door shut to prevent the cleaners from going in so his child can sleep in peace. A powerful scene, but he was willing to do anything for his child to make sure that the system didn't get his child. And then you see these people walking around using their child as like a puppet piece to just get food, get money. That way they don't have to work for a living. There are always jobs out there. I don't care if you have to clean toilets. I don't care if you have to go out into the fields and do the work of Mexicans. You do the job because it's the only job you can do. You take the jobs you're given. And I'm not trying to be racist about saying that the jobs for Mexicans, but sadly, in the field here, it's only Mexicans that work the field. It's only Mexicans. My brother did it for one season, and it was he loved it because every single day, all the Mexican mothers would be bringing him burritos. Like, he would have like 4 or 5 homemade burritos from these mothers who were in the field, just like, oh, mijo, like, he'd give it to him. But he had a good time. All that and too much food for him to eat. But yeah, it's just, there's always work. Sadly, there's always work, and then there are plans you can get on. It's just a lot of people just refuse to do the work for any of it. And sadly, the people who do the work for a lot of the social services don't need it. They're just wanting to take advantage of the system.
That someone reported her.
But how much does a baby cost in the U.S.? I don't know. The thing is, it's just like, it depends on what a rich person wants to afford to eat it. Honestly, since allegedly rich people want to eat them. I mean, I learned that from the Epstein files. They prefer to eat them.
They were worried about the baby.
Because she's throwing a tantrum.
No, well, more they wanted to make sure the baby was okay and that you were okay.
Fine, I'm trying to find emergency housing.
So what's the situation? What are you going through right now?
I'm going through a lot.
Like, as far as
thank you for the
housing,
silver star.
Why are you looking for emergency housing?
Because I had a boyfriend who used to beat the out of me, and I don't want it around my kid.
Okay.
If you can please help me in any way.
I do not have my 4-legged children on camera to bait people into paying me. I do not have. I probably should. Show them off. It's just like, what is it? They had the commercials here in the U.S. for like starving children in Africa or starving dogs and starving cats to kind of bait people to donate money.
Well, okay, so
I need to do a segment like that.
She's gonna talk. She's gonna bring some stuff for the baby.
Where?
She'll be coming over here.
You know, just because the baby cries doesn't mean that they're in trouble.
No.
I'm sure you have kids.
I do. I have a son and a stepdaughter.
I can't even believe this. Is that rescue for my child?
No. They're going to get a call.
The victim's advocate arrives with her assistance, but Jessica is wary of their motives.
Well, y'all making me feel good.
This is the victim's advocate that I told you I had to come.
No, y'all really making me feel good. I got 4 y'all.
No, we have a bunch of stuff for you and the baby.
Jessica settles enough to accept the help these women have brought for her, but she doesn't let her guard down entirely.
It's just right now, I'm needing a place to stay. She thinks y'all are probably trying to take her away from her.
No, we're not taking her away from mommy.
But Jessica does wind up separated from her daughter, and according to the woman at the police station, it happened later that day.
She came back to our job. At this point, she's yelling at the customers in there to give her money. I said, ma'am, you gotta leave. Like, you have to leave now. She said, oh.
Indian Army proposed putting crocodiles in the river following the Bangladesh border alongside electric fence. I mean, that would solve a lot of problems. That would solve a lot of problems. We need to do that. We need to do a giant moat along the Mexican-American border.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
With
And then
crocodiles.
She took her in the bathroom. When she left out there, I called the police. And she literally pushed the buggy in the road and laughed about it. And then hurry up and grab it. And I'm like, is she crazy?
She says that although she gave the officer details about Jessica's behavior, she was told that it would come down to her word against the mother's, but it wouldn't be long before Jessica would return yet again. And this time, she would come with a shocking offer.
She came back. I see her walking back towards our job. And she said, come here, because I trust you, come here. So I'm like, oh my God. I asked two of my coworkers to walk out with me because I don't know what's in somebody's mind. And as I walked over there, she said, if you give me $500 right now, you can have it. I said, have what? She said, have her. And she put her down in the leaves. And I said, are you serious? At this time, the baby got up and she was getting ready to walk in the room. And I grabbed the baby and I picked her up and I said, I'm not giving you no money. She said, well, just have her because it's just too much for me.
The woman's account nearly defies belief, but when the police speak to Jessica a couple of days later, they hear a story that could turn the entire case upside down.
I went to file my taxes at H&R Block. While I was there, one of the members of my church filed my taxes for me. She asked me if she could keep my daughter overnight. She said she wanted to buy her some clothes. She know I just got out of an abusive marriage, and I'm trying to get back on my feet.
And this was Monday or Tuesday?
No.
I don't know. Maybe because I'm not a woman, I could never give up my child and a little child to a random woman who's just a part of my church for the night. I couldn't do it. Maybe a woman would be willing to do that. My wife needs to chime in the chat to be like, oh no, I wouldn't do it, because I can't fathom that. I can't. That just sounds like an excuse. That just sounds like an excuse to me. I don't know any parent that would willingly give up their child to a stranger in the church because, I don't know. They wanted to buy clothes for the child. Just like the people who drive up in a panel van just offering the kid candy. Of course you're going to allow the kid in the van. They just want to give the kid candy. Both of them sound a little demented. Of course, one of them goes to a woman of the church, and the other one is going in a panel van with candy. They're just as bad as each other, except one of them might be a guy. Well, honestly, it could be a guy of the church as well. But still, again, I couldn't do it. I doubt anyone would be willing to do something like that. It just sounds disgusting.
She's only been gone for 2 days. Only 2 days.
Today's Thursday, so...
Why have children when you're financially broke? I mean, that's the goal, to get unfinancially broke. Nope. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, honey. Like, it makes no sense. To me, it sounds the same as allowing a child to accept candy from a stranger and walk in their panel van. Just like allowing the baby to go home to a stranger's house just because of the same church. It's just as dangerous. If not, probably more so, because that familiarity. I mean, I couldn't say. I mean, again, I'm a guy. I'm looking at it differently, but my wife agrees with me in this situation. It's just, it's heinous. It's absolutely heinous.
Can you tell me, like, approximately what time? 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
7 p.m.?
Yeah, 7 p.m.
Jessica says that although she was reluctant at first, she ultimately agreed to hand her daughter over for the night.
I allowed her to take Gigi, and about an hour after that, I got a knock at the door from the police saying that I was there from H&R Block. So I sent a text message, and I said, if you not produce my child, I'm going to call the police.
What's the worker that you go to church with? What's her name?
Her name's Crystal, but she's the black girl with the pink hair.
Jessica paints herself as a caring mother who was tricked into giving up her baby, which is a far cry from the story police heard at the station.
I wouldn't trust anyone with my 10 rupees note. Forget leaving my child. Even my 22-year-old butt can't comprehend it. Yeah. You just don't. That's why, honestly, investigators might be more understanding of the mama bear over the crazy druggie.
I said, do you need help? Again, I'm asking you, do you need help? And she said, no, I don't need help. I just don't want the bastard. And I said, okay. And I got the baby. I was crying. I walked across the street and I tried to wake her up. And I put her in my car and I told her she's going to be okay. This should not go on with the child.
You don't remember having a conversation about trying to sell Giovanni?
What?
I'm just...
No. I would never sell my child. No. I can't even believe that was even stated. My child is my life.
Not only is Jessica's story completely different, she tells the detectives that she knows exactly what's going on here.
To be honest with you, my sister, me and her have a very bad relationship. She has wanted my child. She's told me.
That is even worse. You're literally handing your child to someone you already know wants to kidnap your child? How stupid. How absolutely stupid. So, by far, no, she can't believe this person whatsoever. Can't believe this person whatsoever. The mama bear is absolutely right. The mama bear is absolutely right, because this is not a mother. This is not a parent. This is not a parent. You do not say something like this and still be defending the fact that you handed your child over to the person that is wanting to kidnap your child.
To my entire family, I believe she sent Crystal to do that on purpose, because she laughed yesterday in my face and told me I was going to be in jail. So they said this sounds petty, but it's true.
I mean, what would be the reason they would do that?
Same reason she's husband. She's spiteful.
At the police station, the woman does express an interest in keeping the child, though it doesn't seem to come from a place of malice.
So would DCF let me take her home?
Probably not, but
I just don't want her to have to go through no system. I'm just being honest with you.
there might be a way. You might have to come out and look at your house, or you might. So we'll figure something out.
But as far as Jessica's concerned, there's no reason why her daughter can't be with her.
You know I don't deserve to be in jail for this. I never, ever hurt my baby.
If you see her here, she hit her. This right here.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah.
She elbowed her last night.
So that was from my time.
So you can see it good now. It's swollen right here. The bruise. She got dirt all in her nose.
I'm an RN. I can't lose my child or my license.
Jessica was a licensed practical nurse, but
She's an RN. She looks homeless. She looks like she hasn't washed her hair in months. Of course, it's mentioning it here.
her license was put on probationary status a year prior when she failed to notify the Board of Nursing that she pled no contest to a disorderly conduct charge. But the detectives are only concerned about Jessica's current story, which seems to have a couple of significant problems.
I allowed her to take Gigi, and about an hour after that, I got a knock at the door from the police saying that I was banned from H&R Block.
Jessica's stated timeline would put this at approximately 8 p.m. However, the detectives know that she was banned from H&R Block at 11:30 in the morning.
She asked me if she could keep my daughter overnight. Okay,
That would make it, what, Tuesday night?
Tuesday, yeah.
Jessica says that Crystal took custody of the baby on Tuesday night, which would have been impossible given that the baby was sitting in the police department on Tuesday afternoon.
And what's the worker that you go to church with? What's her name?
Her name's Crystal.
But there's no one at H&R Block by the name of Crystal. The woman who brought her baby to the police station is named Anita, and she says that she only knows Jessica as a client.
Are y'all gonna let me go?
It's using the fact that, Noah through our church is trying to get on the good graces of everyone. It's like, oh, good Christian woman. We're definitely going to listen to everything she has to say. That's why I'm so glad there's a separation between church and state, because so many things would go haywire because of, they're of the right religion. Let's just let them, no, that's ridiculous. That's barbaric. That's barbaric.
No, man. No, there is a warrant for your arrest.
I'm saying, but like...
I mean, you are under arrest.
In February 2025, Jessica Woods pled no contest to her charges and was convicted of 6 crimes against her child, including unlawful desertion and illegally placing a child for adoption. She was sentenced to 4 years in prison and 10 years of probation.
Oh my gosh. Oh. 4 years in prison, 10 years of probation. Not enough. Not enough. I mean, it's good that she's off the streets and that she's no longer able to, do anything with that child, because heck, all she needed was to find one rich vehicle and offer the child there, and then they would have had a delicious meal that night. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I'm just leaning into that joke. I'm leaning into that joke as much as I can. As much as I can. But that was just crazy. To be honest, one look at her and you can tell she's a druggie and a criminal. The way she sits and behaves is extremely weird and arrogant. Doesn't match her story at all. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being arrogant. I am absolutely completely arrogant person. I wear it proudly. But but yeah, it's just crazy. And the fact that she's she's wanting to people to feel sympathetic towards her. She's wanting people to understand where she's coming from. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, everything she was saying was just digging her at a deeper and deeper hole. Everything she was saying. It's like, why would you say those kinds of things? What reason do you have to say those kinds of things? Well, the only reason she has is, well, she's a mother. She's a mother. And playing on like the mother sympathies does work in some cases. But the thing is, this is about a child that was abandoned. This is about, and none of the information is adding up. And everything you're saying just makes it sound worse as you, as a mother. So yeah, I mean, if anything, if what she was saying was true, then both her and the mama bear were both evil people. But no, that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. She was just the evil person.
You guys got a video? So bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, on that.